Like so many of you, I had set goals for this last year, and I failed. Wait, what? I thought this video was about walking into your best year yet. Oh, it absolutely is. And it might surprise you, but those failures that we've all had, they actually play a really big part. But I'm going to come back to that. So what's the first sign that 2024 is going to be your best year yet? Well, it's actually something that you all did about 20 seconds ago when you clicked on this video. Number 1, you're in motion. You're here right now investing in yourself and in motion for the year ahead. Have you heard the saying, God can't steer a parked car? Well, it sounds like common sense, but if you're not actually moving towards your ideal future, you will never achieve it. So as we get to this time of year, setting some goals for next year is a great way to keep yourself in motion. Write them down, keep them in front of you. You would be amazed how few people actually do this. Now, there are going to be points in this coming year where you're going to feel stuck. When that happens, I want you to ask yourself this question. What is the smallest step that I can take that is going to move me in the direction of my ideal future or goals? This could be as simple as putting your running shoes right by the front door or planning your next date night with your spouse. Just that simple act will put you in motion. And as Newton's first law of motion states, an object in motion will stay in motion. You are in motion. Stay in motion. How many more times can I say motion? Before we dive into learning from failure, and I share my story of buying yet another piece of workout equipment, have you subscribed to the channel yet? 2024 is going to be an amazing year, and I want to be a part of that journey with you. On to the next sign. Number 2, you are learning from failure. James Clear in his book Atomic Habits lays out some amazing tools that are really helpful for building healthy habits into your life. 2 of those things that he talks about is make it easy and make it obvious. So with this in mind, last year I went out and bought an exercise bike and put it in my living room. Thankfully, my beautiful wife was on board for this adventure. It was easily accessible for me, and since it was in the middle of my living room, it was very obvious and a constant reminder for me to work on the health and fitness goals that I'd set for myself. But I failed. I wasn't using it nearly enough, and now I admit it's in my garage, right next to the treadmill that we already owned. But I know that it's possible to learn more by trying something and failing than trying something and succeeding. I've learned that you can have all the knowledge about how to set goals and build habits, but you still have to do the work. Or, said another way, you can buy all the fancy equipment that you want, but that bike isn't going to ride itself. Do I regret buying the bike? Absolutely not, because you definitely learn more when you try something and fail than if you hadn't tried anything at all. So as we head to next year and you look at the goals that you had set for yourself for this year, there are probably going to be some quote-unquote failures on the list. Take a moment to look back on that list. Why did you miss those goals? You probably know why. If you could go back and do the year over again, what would you do differently so that you could hit those goals? Write those things down. How does what you've learned now impact the goals that you're going to set for yourself this coming year? Number 3, you're humble. Another way to say this is that you're willing to learn. What's the saying? The more I learn, the less I know. I feel like that was written for me. I learn a little bit more every year, but I feel like I recognize just so much more of what I don't understand out in the world. In his book, The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel talks about how each of us has our own personal understanding of how the world works. But the reality is that view is actually very limited. Now, Morgan's talking about finances, but he says that our personal experience makes up 0.0000001% of what's happened in the world, but maybe 80% of how you think that the world actually works. And I believe that this concept doesn't just apply to finances and money, it applies to all of life. We each have our own individual worldview, and the reality is that's actually just a small sliver of how the world actually works. This is a perfect example of something called the Dunning-Kruger effect, where way too often in life we have this exaggerated confidence about things that we actually have very limited knowledge. This presents a huge opportunity for those that are willing to walk through life with a beginner's mindset, always open and willing to learn more. And that, my friend, is you. Number 4, you're anti-fragile. You're smart enough to recognize that change is constant. One study suggests that we are going to experience significant change every 12 to 18 months. That's a lot of change. Of course, as we grow and go through life, we are going to become stronger, more resilient, more robust. But what is really going to set you apart in the year ahead is having an anti-fragile mindset. This is where we recognize the changes that come across our path and allow them to not only strengthen us, but actually allow them to build us into the person that God is calling us to become. I want to speak strength over your life this coming year, to be able to withstand everything that comes across your path. But more than that, I want you to recognize that life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. And the final sign that 2024 is going to be your best year yet? Number 5, you were made for impact. You have been given a gift, a skill set, or a talent. You likely know what it is, or you're about to discover it. Maybe you've been given the musical gift, or you're creative. Maybe you've been given the gift of wisdom and discernment. Whatever that gift is, you already know that you are going to pour into that gift this coming year. Develop your skill set, develop your talent, so that you can go and pour that into others. The Bible is pretty clear. In 1 Peter it says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others. Notice it doesn't say if you were given a gift. It says to use whatever gift you have received. You have been given a gift. Go and use it to serve others, to bless other people. Now, I believe that a big part of your impact this coming year is going to revolve around your ability to take that gift and be present with the people around you. Serve them. Because impact always starts with one person. So knowing that you are in motion, that you're learning from failure, that you're humble, that you're anti-fragile, that you're made for impact, go ahead and set some big goals for this next year. God's going to do amazing things in and through your life. It's your year. I'll see you in the next video.